welcome to Bella TV. Jennifer here, and I am once again joined by Dr. Aviva Preminger of Preminger Plastic Surgery in Manhattan. Dr. Preminger, thank you again for having us.
Always a pleasure. It's been too long.
I know, I feel like I haven't seen you in so long.
This pandemic is just getting in the way of things.
Well, I'm excited to be back, and I'm dying to know, how has business been throughout the pandemic? Now that we're starting to see a little bit of life in New York City, I assume that your office is flooded.
It's actually been crazy. I was surprised. I thought that once things opened up again, people would be a little bit fearful about getting out. But I think that what happened was quite the opposite. Everybody's been trapped at home. I think they've been looking at themselves on Zoom. I think everybody's put on 10 to 15 pounds. And everybody needs a pick-me-up. They want something to make themselves feel better, basically.
Yeah.
And, as far as being able to kind of spend a little bit of money, I think that there's not that much to spend on right now. You're not getting dressed up to go anywhere. Nobody's going on fancy vacations. And so I think people feel like, it's time to kind of invest in myself. And they have time to recover.
Right.
Nobody's going to work.
Right.
So they're home Zooming and they can kind of hide stuff.
Yeah, working from home, living in sweatpants for months. And now we have all this money saved up because we're not going anywhere. So beauty, we need to feel beautiful again.
Yeah.
I totally understand.
And I think we all are just at a point where we need a pick-me-up.
Yeah.
This pandemic has gotten everybody down, so they want something that's going to make them feel better.
Definitely. And talking about those things, and I love, by the way, your blog. You have great information on your blog, so if you haven't seen it, you have to check it out. Everything from plastic surgery for men to mommy makeovers to abdominoplasty. So why don't you talk about some of those things, some of your popular procedures that you're putting out there right now?
So in addition to all the injectables that everybody was sort of dying to get done because they hadn't been able to get it done in such a long time,
right.
I think what surprised me is that people were really looking to have big procedures done. And one of the things that I think is very popular right now are these big mommy makeover procedures. So I do a lot of combined breast and belly, which will involve either breast implants with a lift, just a lift, a reduction, and tummy tucks are a big one, especially with the 10 to 15 pounds people put on top of, what may have been a little pooch from having their kids to begin with.
Now it's COVID body.
Now it's COVID body. It's not a good thing. So I think people are coming in and they want a combination of those things, and they're able to take a little bit more downtime and just say, let's get it right. Let's do the whole thing. When summer hits, I want to look good.
Right. Well, that was going to be my next one, right? So our summer bodies are made in the winter.
Totally.
This is when you do it to prepare for that summer body. So what are some of the main procedures or treatments that you're doing or seeing to get people ready for summer?
So a big one right now is liposuction.
Okay.
I think that in thinking about that, like 10 to 15 pounds that people are having a hard time getting off, or what they couldn't even get off beforehand, I think liposuction is a nice one to just kind of get them over the hump. Mm-hmm. I do a lot of liposuction under local anesthesia, which is nice because there's definitely less recovery time. There's very little downtime. People are coming in for cool sculpting, which is totally non-invasive.
Yeah.
Cryotherapy, basically fat freezing. There's no downtime. You can be in the gym the next day, actually. And then the bigger tummy tuck procedure, which, there's actually a range when we talk about tummy tucks. I think when we use the word tummy tuck, people think automatically like a big tummy tuck procedure.
Your whole stomach.
Yeah, exactly. And not everybody needs that.
Right.
So I do mini tummy tucks and I combine them with liposuction. I do what I call a modified tummy tuck. In a lot of cases, it's not really just a matter of someone having extra fat or extra skin or being overweight. I think for a lot of moms who've carried, for example, twins, which in New York City, especially on the Upper East Side, is pretty common, they have a really bad diastasis, which is separation of those abdominal muscles.
Okay.
And all the stomach crunches in the world, unfortunately, just never bring those muscles back together. So one of the things that I can do is literally sew those muscles back together and give them back like rock hard abs, which people love, and tighten their waist and give them a little more of that shape back, that waistline that they've kind of been missing. And, as a mom, I have 3 kids. I totally relate to those patients and their desire to just kind of want to get their bodies back.
Yeah, be yourself again.
Yeah, and invest in themselves a little bit. And, I think sometimes moms also there's a lot of guilt, like, can I take the time for me? Should I really have that downtime? I think number one, safety is like our number one priority always. I have a Quad A certified OR in my office, which is really nice, especially during COVID, because I can keep people out of the hospital, and it's a very controlled environment, which is really nice for patients. But I also think that, I think the moms are kind of better moms when they feel good about themselves.
Yeah. So in addition to the moms and the mommy makeovers, I definitely want to hear about trends in beauty, right? There's always a new beauty trend, whether it's a procedure or treatment, whatever. I think especially now, we're in masks all day long. You can't see our face. You can only see our eyes, right? So people are like, well, I don't wear makeup anymore. I just put mascara on. So
it's true. Lipstick just gets in the way.
So what are some of either the trends you're seeing that you really like, dislike, or some of the things that you're doing that you see more now of because of maybe the masks or COVID?
Yeah, I think that you pointed out correctly that eyes are a big one right now, because that's all anybody's seeing when you walk out. And so I think there are a lot of great techniques that we can do with eyes, just to kind of brighten and open things up. I do a lot of eyelids under local anesthesia, so there's really no downtime. It basically means that you're not being put to sleep. Oh, wow. Patients are awake. They tolerate it really well. I can even give them a little brow lift just through the same upper eyelid incision, and that upper eyelid incision is completely hidden within the crease of the upper lid, which is amazing. And then another thing that I love to combine with doing eyes is some laser resurfacing, either around the lower eyelids, just to tighten that crepey skin.
Yeah.
And sometimes we can actually, if the patient wants, just do a general skin brightening procedure. I have a DECA Tetra laser now, which has something called a cool peel mode, which is amazing because it's kind of the benefits of that traditional Fraxel laser that you would hear about, but the Fraxel had downtime. But what's nice is that it's a similar laser with the same technology, but without all of that thermal injury that happens to the skin. So they don't get all the redness and the downtime. And really within 24 to 48 hours, they're completely, back out and about, which is amazing, which is really nice. And I think people are looking for, skin brightening now. I think that, everybody feels dull. They feel like they've been cooped up inside. Yeah. And so I think it's really a great benefit for patients.
That's amazing. Well, I'm happy to hear that business is doing great. Safety first here, obviously.
Always.
And you're the best at what you do. So for people that are interested in getting any of the things that we talked about, or even just to follow you, to read your blog, let them know where they can get in touch with you.
So they can follow me on Instagram at Preminger MD, and also on my website at www.premingermd.com. And my office number, if they want to schedule an appointment, is 212-706-1900.
Perfect. Well, thank you again for having us. It's a pleasure as always.
Thank you.
Dr. Preminger on our medical advisory board. Stay tuned for more updates from her and follow along bellamag.co.